Hi everyone, Loch Earn, 3rd of April.
Hi everyone, Emerald Golfer here. I am in Loch Earn in Northern Ireland and it's currently pouring rain. But with any luck, in half an hour's time when I'm playing, there'll be no rain. I have a special guest star filming me today who's probably not going to appear on camera. My daughter Thalia is helping me out, which is great. So I'll see you on the first tee.
This is a great course. This is the Faldo Championship course. It was an incredibly windy and stormy day. So you can see my outfits changing several times because there's downpours of rain coming here and there. No shot tracers today because I didn't want to. There's no real warm up, so a bit stiff in the swing. That turned out okay though. I'm using my old irons because I was up in Ardra and I was traveling home, so I didn't have my regular irons with me. So a couple of my chip shots in the early holes were just appalling. So trying to dial into the distances again. Very nearly killed my child there. She was standing pretty close to the pin and I overshot it. So these early putts, not great. So my target was to break 90, as it always is. So we're tracking that. I wasn't tracking, such a pity that I missed that. I wasn't tracking my score throughout the round because I tend not to look at my score while I'm playing because it puts me in the wrong headspace. So I was just playing and then I saw at the end how I did. That was a pretty good shot. It's a really beautiful course. It's woodland. For the amount of rain that there'd been, the course was incredibly good condition. I was taking some massive divots, as you'll see. My child is recording. There'll be some editorializing from her throughout the round about how I'm doing. Starting to dial in my wedges there a little bit. That only just dripped in. Little par 3. Beautiful hole, actually.
Wow, that went a long way. The wrong way.
Oh, nice, on the green.
I'm not sure whether that was sarcasm or whether she was actually impressed that I managed to get a ball onto the green. I'll probably be turning down some of the actual on-camera, on-course recording because, as I say, super, super windy, a lot of camera noise.
Ooh, beautiful.
I've lofted up my driver to about 13 degrees. Which is just giving me a little bit more height. I haven't lost a significant amount of distance doing so. As you can see there, I'm not really doing full swings because I was quite stiff, so didn't really have a chance to warm up, so wasn't going as far as I would like it to, as it normally would do. That looked like a terrible shot. It's actually what I meant to do. I meant to sort of bump and run it. So, yeah, she didn't want to walk all the way to the green, so she filmed me from quite far away. That was so close to going in. Having a camera person film for me is actually quite good because you can get sort of different angles, which I think is fun. It's winter greens, so you'll see they're quite ropey in places, but you know, it's just the way it is. This is a great hole, par 3. There's a little island in front of it with some fake standing stones, which is pretty cool.
That's on the green.
Edited for language there.
Always beside the drop the ball down. Like honestly, look at this. Why is the best angle always right here?
She's trying to get creative. So on some of the shots, she's actually hanging with her feet over the water. It was good to have her with me. She enjoyed herself, I think, which was it made it more fun for me as well having her with me. As I say, I will be turning down the wind noise. The wind was unbelievable. This shot, I aimed it basically incredibly far left, and it curled, and the wind just took it all the way to the far right edge of the fairway. Yeah, very windy out there. This is me long-windedly explaining what I had to do. There was another bunker between me and the green. I avoided it by hitting a terrible slice. as you can see in the foreground, the greens were just in, well, they're winter greens, right? You need to maintain them in the winter, so you got good greens in the summer. It's just the price you have to pay. Apparently, there's a plaque here. Rory drove this hole at some Pro-Am tournament a couple of years ago. I'm not Rory, so I did not get anywhere near to driving this particular hole. So yeah, not my best chip ever, but there you are. And that one actually turned out pretty decent from where I was. Yeah, some of the putting was pretty dire today, but hey, good days and bad days. That was dead into the wind, so I hit that really well, and it went about 150 meters. This shot was terrible. I took a 3-wood trying to drive through the wind and just failed utterly. And then I put a 7-wood. Actually, no, I think that was a 9-wood, which also didn't go great. So not one of my better holes. We'd actually just spent 15 minutes sitting in the cart while this massive rain cloud you see over to the left was just dumping unbelievable amounts of rain on us. And the child saying, "Oh, it might be on the green." Again, yeah, big divots. So, slight sarcasm from the child.
Hey!
It was a great bogey for the shot that I played. It took me a long time to get onto the green, but then one putting really helped. Her comments are hilarious. She's just always so surprised by doing anything that isn't absolutely horrible. Um, but yeah.
Nice. On the river?
There are a couple of shots here I'm playing on mats because while this course is in good condition for the time of year that is, it is very swampy in some places, and I just refuse. The course is astonishing, though. It's right in Loch Earn. The locks are all around it, and it's absolutely beautiful. So, 45 in the front nine. I'm actually pretty pleased with that. It's a par 37 on the front nine, so it's actually 8 over par. This is a stunning, stunning hole, the 10th. It's downhill. There's a bit of a cliff in the middle of the fairway, and then the green itself is actually in an island in the lake. It's amazing. That was my child trying to find my ball for me. It was very kind of her. Pretty pleased with that, actually. Could have gone a bit further, but what I didn't want to do is put it long and into the water.
That was the idea.
Yeah,
Only
just
20 yards further would have been better. But still, it's not in the water.
Once again, I'm asking, why are all the best angles right beside drops? Come on.
So not to spoil it, but I was playing pretty well today, actually. Quite a few pars, but unfortunately also quite a few double bogeys. So, good and bad. There's a saying in Ireland that if you don't like the weather, just wait for 5 minutes. And that was absolutely the case today. It went from what you see there, blue skies and lovely, to completely overcast, torrential rain with a little bit of thunder, which was great,
Oh?
within a 5-minute spread. But most of the day was nice.
No, we don't get hit in the face.
Yeah, she was lying directly behind the pin on the floor. So I was slightly worried about not overhitting and smacking her in the face, or more importantly, damaging my camera. A rare, genuine compliment from the child. It's the biggest divot I've ever taken with the wood. It was ridiculous. It was quite wet.
So that is right beside the bunker, and is going to be getting it in from here. Pretty good
That was kind of her, but I didn't feel that was good at all. I left it right and I left it short, and then I did a just an appalling putt.
So the first ever Emerald Isle Golfer Kart Cam. Oh, almost. Not quite sure where we're going. Oh, there we are. Those folks are still on the tee. Yeah, having a good time. Playing okay. That last hole was a bit of a disaster, but there you are. Anyway, cut.
Card cam needs some work, but you know, this is a lovely par three. It's very striking with that lone tree. Hit a 9-wood up the hill. It landed over on the left side of the green. Green regulation, always good.
One of the things I'm not going to do, well, of course, I'm where I'm now actually doing it, is I wasn't going to comment on the Tiger Woods thing. Fourth DUI, you really shouldn't be driving, but I don't really want to click farm or whatever the fuck it's called, karma farm, off someone else's misery. Very aware that I'm actually doing so by talking about it, but if you're this far into the video, then I've got your attention anyway, right? Anyway, that shot was pretty good, I think. Wow, what a view. We'll see how it goes.
So, yeah. So yeah, so pretty good. Playing, like I say, relatively consistently. I've been actually been playing some pretty good golf over the last couple of weeks. My handicap is 18.6 actually, and my last 8 rounds have been averaging at 17.4, which is great. So I'm playing just a bit better than my handicap, which is good. So I want to continue to improve on that. So this was a very unfortunate shot. I wanted to keep it left, but I sliced it a bit and it just caught the rocks and careened right about
Yeah, I saw it.
careened about 30
So,
meters
what
right.
has just done is he's just accidentally kicked the ball into the river, and now has to chip it in. Oh, so now we're going to be getting a bogey probably.
Yeah. A bogey would have been nice there. It turned out being a double bogey on a par 5. I did go into the rough wasteland to see if I could find the ball, but it was not there. So, you know, these shots happen every now and then, and that's why you do pars, to offset it. And this was just the less said of this hole, the better. Hit a terrible shot, didn't even make it up the hill, and then it rolled back about 20 meters. This was not a terrible pitch onto the green, but it was pretty short. And then there's just a series of terrible putts. So 2 double bogeys in a row, not really setting myself up for success, unfortunately. So 3 holes left, well, 4 holes left. These last 4 are stunning. They're right along the lock. They're absolutely beautiful. But if you go even slightly right, you are just done. Good news is there was a howling gale coming off the lock, so my natural tendency to slice was being offset by the fact that there was a massive wind pushing it left, which helped.
Oh, that might be super long. No, it's actually. Oh, that little bobble just killed it. That would have been a birdie. Good par.
You can see the resort hotel in the distance there. They've got all these little chalets that are made to look like castles, which is kind of cool. I mean, a bit cheesy, but kind of cool. So you can see there, a lot of water right, but the massive wind was helping keeping that under control. And I think the thickest divot I've ever taken in my life. It was like I'd taken a shovel to the fairway. I should have actually given myself some relief from that drain head because I was so worried about hitting that I just hit a terrible shot. But you know, if you don't do these things, you don't do them, you know. Yeah. She was very committed to getting the good shots, which was good of her. So, one hole left. I'm currently at 85. It's a par 3. And I do something stupid. Hit a club I hadn't hit all day. I was so close to being in trouble. But I got away with it. So, now laying 87. 88. At this point, I don't realize that I'm putting to break 90 because I'm not keeping track of my score. 89. Delightful. Very happy with that.
Scary 4.
So, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, click, subscribe, all that good stuff.